Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What up, dope people? Welcome to Wake Up Woodward. And yes, this backdrop, we are actually in studio. Thank you guys for choosing to kick off the day with us. Go ahead and smash that like button, chat family, because as always, you guys are the most important part of this WUW Crew production. And we got everybody, man. The entire starting five. It's your boy Brandon, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer. And this right here, Flannel Sam, the vet of the network. What up, though, brother?
Hey, you know what today is, everybody? Today is the start of the Tigers' wild card push. We all know it. They got 10 coming up against some pretty weak opponents, and they just got to go 8-2, and Kansas City's just got to tank the rest of the year, and everything's gonna be fine, right? Obviously, I'm kidding, but
oh, Flannel.
I know, because the reality is they could finish the year 30-9 and still not make it because they're 9 games out still.
Bro, that's what's wild. They were just 8.5 out yesterday. They keep winning. They keep going backwards in the standings.
And the Royals
what in the world?
have a silly series against the Angels, which they're probably going to sweep. So
Goodness.
I'm obviously kidding, but hopefully they finish the season strong, the Tigers.
You know what? It's exciting. It is fun. And definitely, when the Tigers are playing well and they're also attempting at least bunts, it's awesome to see this guy talking baseball. That is Mathieu Betts, our credentialed Tigers and our Lions reporter and writer for the network.
Let's go. So I'm not ready to jump on the wild card bandwagon. I know Flannel was joking, but I don't know if you guys saw. I put a segment in this show of what could happen if the Tigers play well enough to maybe force the hand of one owner of a certain Little Caesars Pizza corporation. So we'll see. We got some Tigers to talk about. Definitely got a lot of Lions. Some college football we're going to start and end with. Obviously setting up Woodward Pistons tomorrow with you and Rod Beard.
Yes,
we got ourselves a week. We're heading into football season. I'm jacked up. I saw Thomas Woodford in the chat. He says, off rip, tired of the Lions disrespect. We are Super Bowl contenders more so than Green Bay. That's right.
Even
That's
Eric
right,
Korg said it. Even Eric Korg said it, man. You saw that? Eric Korg?
Who's Eric
He
Korg?
picked the Detroit Lions. I see Chase over there. He knows. You're in the know, right? He picked the Detroit Lions. It's a little dog that they throw the ball to.
I'm upstairs.
Yeah, he picked the Detroit Lions to win the Super Bowl this year. I'm fired up, man.
Get
Let's
fired up,
go.
Kool-Aid. Get fired
Let's
up, Kool-Aid.
go. I'm definitely fired up, man. Whew. Detroit Tigers, Detroit Lions. Hey, Matt, you know what? Let me introduce the rest of the cast and the crew. You guys already heard me say intern Chase is in the building, continues to work hard. Something tells me you're going to shed that intern label pretty soon, brother. That dude Justin is also in the building as well. And our elite booth. Shout out to Detroit's #1 draft pick. He's in full Black Hollywood mode today, everybody. That is KG in the sound booth.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing, man? How we doing?
Hey, feeling good. Feeling good. Talk to me, brother.
I had one of the more relaxed Mondays that I've had all year yesterday, so that was cool. We didn't get a chance to do E&E, but hopefully things will be working a little bit better today, so just bear with us.
Oh, man. Hey, you know what? You just heard him there. Woodward Sports' MVP in the T. Wait a second. Tuesday, August. In the titty booth, it is JB
no.
Smooth.
Oh, no. What's up, fellas? What's going on?
These remotes got my days of the week all mixed up.
I know exactly. I walked in, I was like, man, I feel like I haven't been in here for years. Like, we haven't been in the studio in forever. We just been on the road.
A lot went wrong when you was gone. I would just say that.
I can see that over here.
Woodward Sports is MVP. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling you, it's not just a saying, it's real life. Mathieu Betts.
Yes?
Would you like to tell the people what we are discussing today?
Sure, Brandon. we got a warm up a college football topic here to start. Just for a couple minutes before we get into the first section, talking Lions. And actually, I got a scale to put out to you guys of how close are some of these guys to being cut, to being a lock to making the 53-man roster. So I want to run a couple names by you guys. Then, explain yourself. Kool-Aid, you're going to moderate a little section where Flannel and I we did our position rankings for the NFC North offense, and ours are a little bit different. So we're gonna need you to pick it apart, help guide the chat in my direction, of course, of who had the proper list. We're gonna talk about that. Talk a little bit about the NFC North before we get into the Tigers in the second hour. Talk about this youth movement a little bit more. We had so much fun at the Kirk Gibson Golf Classic yesterday. We didn't even really get to talk much Lions, much sports, but we got so much time with Trammell and Goose Gossage, Martin Klubba. It was a blast. We got clips up online, so make sure to go check them out. But, man, we got a lot to talk about today, too, so I'm excited. The whole crew's back in studio.
Hey, got a lot to talk about, so let's jump right into it since we're back in studio. It's the layup lines. Let's get warmed up.
Yeah, I'm going to – and I don't even have a question yet, but I'm going to throw this up to you guys, and maybe we start with Flannel. But they released the AP All-American College Football first team, actually all the teams, yesterday, and a couple Big Ten teams led the way. Ohio State was the one university with 4 first-team All-Americans. Michigan and Georgia had 3 first-team All-Americans. So, when I was looking through Ohio State, one of their 4 was a transfer from Alabama at safety, Caleb Bond. The other 3 are returning players. All of Michigan's players are returning: Mason Graham, Will Johnson, and Colston Loveland. Flannel, how do you feel about these 3 being on the list, about how this list turned out anyway?
First off, you did kind of a Flannel special. You called him Caleb Bond, which you combined Isaiah Bond and Caleb Downs, both Alabama transfers. But that's a neither here nor there.
Oops.
I think that's pretty telling about Michigan, that maybe the fall off isn't going to be what some people think. And I understand, we all understand what Michigan lost, whether it be the players to the NFL, whether it be the members of the coaching staff. It's going to be hard to overcome all of that. But the thing about this Michigan team is that most of their high-end draft prospects are still there. They only had 1 first-rounder in last year's draft, and it was J.J. McCarthy. And coming out in this next draft in 2025, they might have 4. And it shows on this All-American team. You've got Colston Loveland, you've got Mason Graham, you've got Will Johnson. Those 3 are the best at their respective positions in college football, and I would say that Kenneth Grant is a top 5 defensive tackle in all of college football. So I get it. It's going to be tough for them to overcome what they lost with the quarterback and the offensive line, but what if they do reload better than you think? What if Alex Orji is good? What if some of their offensive linemen who have had some experience like Giovanni El Hadi and Miles Hinton actually work out? Sharon Moore, one of his specialties is the offensive line. So maybe Michigan does have that 10-2 and 11-1 season and do some damage in the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, because like a match made in flannel heaven, right? PFF actually won ups the AP, and they put Kenneth Grant in their top 50 players, the PFF top 50 players. Wolverines land 4 there.
Yep.
Talk to me a little bit more about Kenneth Grant.
I mean, Kenneth Grant, he's what I would call a freak of nature in terms of athleticism. He's huge, but he's fast. He gets in the backfield. He's smart. He can stop the run. He's basically, to me, Kenneth Grant projects as DJ Reader with higher pass rushing upside. And he's going to, I think him, along with the fact that you're going to have to deal with Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham, that type of defensive tackle duo is the type that can almost win them a tough game, like an Oregon or, dare I say, even an at Ohio State in Columbus by themselves, because they are going to be that disruptive. And Kenneth Grant, there's no offensive lineman on earth that can block him one-on-one, but also there's no offensive lineman on earth at the collegiate level, of course, that can block Mason Graham one-on-one. So they're going to help each other out. And Kenneth Grant, he's almost as talented as Mason Graham, although maybe a little bit less, but he's so much bigger. He's an absolute load.
Yeah, and you know what, brother, you said it, man, the returning players, 4 of these guys, man. This is awesome. Just speak to the importance of this for Michigan heading into the season, because I have felt like for a while that they've been underrated. I just wanted to see what Sharon Moore was going to do with this coaching staff. I wanted to see what Sharon Moore was going to do in recruiting, and it looks like he's aced it already. And the noise, to me, has it seemed like the noise has bothered them at all? And I think it has a lot to do with some of these, not just returning players, not just kind of, upperclassmen, but high-level players as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even when you talk about having Donovan Edwards as a leader of that team, it's a unit where their best players are their returning players. So when you talk about what led them, while they may have had more NFL draft picks last year, their O-line was intact. When you're carrying over from season to season, you need upperclassmen to be there to not only show the young kids how to do it out on the field, but to also keep that culture alive. And there has been turnover with players, with coaches, in multiple areas. But look how they've replaced it with Wink Martindale. We're talking about Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant, and Wink Martindale is now the defensive coordinator, the originator of the defense that Mike McDonald and Jesse Winker. Jesse,
More on him later.
Jesse Minter put in last. So, again, you hit it on the nail of what kind of stood out to me, just hearing these three are returning or being reminded that they're returning. It's like some of that magic from the year prior.
Some of that
it's
swag.
still around. It's still in Ann Arbor. So how good can they be by the end of the season? To be determined. But I like seeing your three best players. Three of the best players in the country are returning and bringing everything from last year with them.
Yes, and Mike G, to further the point of the defense being good, and this could also play into Michigan draft picks going into next year. Michigan D will be good. Still grown-ass men on that side of the ball. Just have to replace Colson and Barrett. And I get that 100%, but they got themselves a pretty nice transfer from Maryland named Jayshon Barham, who I think projects to be a better NFL prospect than Michael Barrett, maybe to the level of Junior Colson. And I get it. Junior Colson being in the system for so long, Michael Barrett being one of the leaders on the defense, being in the system for seemingly forever, that matters. But when you have somebody who is as talented as Jayshon Barham, when you have somebody who the year before was one of the best transfers in all of college football, or the top-rated transfers in all of college football, in Ernest Hausman, who is going to take on a bigger role after having a pretty damn good year himself last year, this defense, I'm not worried about at all.
Okay.
The only thing you worry about with Michigan is the quarterback and the O-line, at least to me. Maybe the pass catchers as well.
Do you expect things to change much schematically for that defense? Because last year, it was something that we knew we could rely on, and when we saw them in the college football playoffs, it was next level. Everybody, and we know that it was one of the weaker Alabama teams, but people still always love to refer to them as kind of college football's NFL team.
Sure.
And then Michael Penix was supposed to be that NFL-ready quarterback, and Michigan's defense handled both of those teams.
I mean, I think with Wink Martindale, you might get more blitzing. I actually, and this is where maybe I differ from some Michigan fans, but I don't think it's that crazy. I think Wink Martindale is a downgrade from Jesse Minter because Jesse Minter is a known, and of course the year before you had Mike McDonald, who himself has turned out to be a damn good defensive coordinator to the point where he now has a head coaching
Flannel
job.
is glowing talking about Michigan football.
But, I would say more blitzing from the linebacker position and maybe from the safeties. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but I'll tell you what, against teams where their offensive lines are a little bit weak and maybe the lesser talented teams, I think that this defense, and I'm not saying that this matters too much, might even pummel the lesser teams even more than they did last year. It's just, that's not the point. That's not what we really care about. We care about how they look against Oregon and Texas and Ohio State, and obviously in the college football playoff, should they get that far.
Not Michigan State, Purdue, Michigan State.
No, but for real, I think they can just beat the piss out of those teams if they blitz the way Wink Martindale has been known to do in the NFL. I think those teams might be in for a rough day, and even rougher day than they were in the previous year's matchup. Although Michigan State, I don't know how they can have a rougher day than they did last year.
Yeah, on first, hearing it, it's like, ooh, more blitzing, and then I'm like, man, I'm a little conflicted. Broder, real quick, do you think it's best for Michigan to blitz more this season?
I don't know yet. I haven't dug into it too much yet.
Hey, well, you know what? I know
Lions
something that is surely the best. That is Premier Pet Supply. It's hands down Michigan's best pet store. They offer you the same prices and all the conveniences of the online and the big box retailers with one major difference. They've been family and locally owned and operated for over 30 plus years. They're bringing you over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside, and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply, give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar? Oh. Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Guys, the Ally Challenge presented by McLaren, it is back August 22nd through the 25th at Warwick Hills. And you see it, the PGA Tour Championship, it returns. So that means you can leave the golfing to the pros, and you can meet us over at Hole 17 KG. I know you know about Hole 17, brother.
1 through 16, too.
Hey, hey, look, $2 birdie beers, concerts, and more. The and more, you got to show up to find out. Get your tickets at allychallenge.com and see us there. Brought to you by Randy Wise Automotive.
Hey, and then talk about Dispo. How would you like $10 of free products from Dispo Dispensary? Screenshot this image with the QR code and bring it into any Dispo location, and you'll get a free $10 to spend in store. KG, you would spend that wisely with a minimum purchase of $25. Visit Dispo Dispensary today or disposhops.com. Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
What? I'm not even going to say what that sounded like to me. So, you know what? Welcome back, man. It's Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for checking in with the entire WUW Crew. We got the whole brotherhood in the building. Just in time for Detroit Lions. And, you know what? With us back in studio, not on remote, not out at a legend, a Detroit Tigers Legends event, we get to just kind of talk Detroit Lions.
Yes,
and I can't wait, man.
Yes, sir. Well, JB's getting some stuff ready on the computer. Let me just start with a primer question to ask you guys. Would you start Hendon Hooker in Game 3 this preseason? And if so, how much would you play him? Or would you give him the Michael Penix Jr. treatment? Say, you're our number 2, we're good. Let's just move on with Sudfeld and Fromm in Game 3.
I would start Michael Penix. I mean,
Michael Penix.
I would start Hendon Hooker and play him the whole game. And I understand that we've
let Hook cook.
And I'll be honest. That second half, what I saw against Kansas City, I've seen enough to where I'm not pounding the table for Ryan Tannehill or a Taylor Heineke anymore. To go along with the fact that he's just so talented, he looked comfortable. He's somebody that Brad Holmes identified, which we all trust him implicitly.
Yep.
However, with Michael Penix, he's more likely to me to be the quarterback of the Falcons' future than Hendon Hooker is for the Lions. I still think Hendon Hooker, the overwhelming likelihood is that Hendon Hooker never is a significant contributor on this Lions team. He's not a first-round draft pick like Michael Penix was. So to me, just play him the whole game. See how well he he handles himself in a full preseason game, because the reality is, and I don't know how much other GMs take into account preseason, but Hendon Hooker may need to be a trade chip someday, and that might be the only time you ever see him is in preseason. So play Hendon Hooker the whole game.
I hear a lot of but Tarek Skubal was on the trade market too, everybody. Like, it happens. I get where you're at Flannel. Although I don't get 4 quarters playing him in game 3. A half. To me, it's a half. Playing for a half. Only because he needs the reps. I'm good on Hendon Hooker now. I just think he needs as many reps as possible. I think Pittsburgh will at least be playing some of their defensive starters. So I say playing for a half, but I don't want him to get hurt. Like get him in there, get some reps with some 2s, and move on.
I don't want him to get hurt, but selfishly, this
I know you want to see him.
Hook Cook season. We waited for this, man. Game 3 is Hendon Hooker's Super Bowl, man.
I would say the one thing I would say, to be obviously on a human level and on a Lions fan level, I don't want to see Hendon Hooker get hurt. However, if he does, is it the worst thing in the history of humankind? I would say no. I would say that that's a risk that I would be willing to take because if he does get hurt, then maybe that's the sign you need to go trade for a Taylor Heinicke or go grab someone like a Joe Flacco or somebody like that. But if he plays well, then Hendon Hooker is your no doubt quarterback too.
You guys have me conflicted today. It's perfect on a day like today. I don't know where I stand with the Hendon Hooker aspect here, because I want to selfishly see him play. I like and I enjoy seeing him play football just out of what we've been able to, the teases that we've gotten during preseason, and to just be able to get a few more reps, maybe run up that trade value. I'm not going to claim to know how that works. Does it, run up its value? Do you get more by kind of letting what's out there, the good that's out there, be the most people can see, or put some more reps out there on camera? But it's just preseason, so I don't know how much that helps. So selfishly, I'm going to see him play, but if we're thinking long term, maybe it is better, like you're stating, to let him play half, keep him as healthy as possible. But I do want to see him play 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, there's some guys, and I'm going to start with the player on the defensive end. I want to get your opinion on a scale from 1 to 5. How close is this player to getting cut? Ooh. And I have 1 being a lock. 2 equals he's safe. Pretty safe to make the 53-man. 3, he's probably a practice squad player or the equivalent. 4, he's a fringe practice squad player. And 5, he's a definite cut. So, JB, are you ready with that first graphic of Mr. James Houston?
James Houston?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so, guys, scale from 1 to 5. James Houston, is he a lock or is he a cut?
I would say he's a 2. He's safe. And the reason is, and I get it, he did not play well during his time at Sam linebacker in preseason. I haven't been hearing that many great things about him in that position, which is why they said, okay, this experiment is over. However, for this defense to function the way that we hope that it does, the Lions need James Houston to be that guy who just goes after the quarterback, even if it's 10, 15 times a game. And I think that that's a valuable enough skill that he has shown at the NFL level a couple of years ago that he will make this team. I'm not calling him a lock quite yet, but I'm saying that he is safe.
And I'm kind of there too. I'm probably leaning closer towards lock, but still in a safe standpoint, because I believe he's a gamer. I think kind of when regular season lights turn on and you put him out there on the field, I just believe that James Houston is one of those guys that's going to be a full goal. Especially, I don't really want to call it simplifying his role, but really putting him in a role where he can just, his skills and what he know he can do best can be best utilized. Just get after the quarterback. That's kind of what I liked out of that one explosive play out of Mathieu Betts. And when you're talking about the edge rusher depth, when you're talking about the ability to have this defensive line really, really, really be a strength of this defense, I do believe James Houston is one of those guys that you want to have on the roster. Has a little bit of familiarity, doesn't have to learn too much, and already understands what his role is going to be. So safe, but leaning towards lock.
All right, KG, what about you? 1 through 5, James Houston.
Yeah, I got a 2. I'm with everybody here. This is a big prove-it year for James Houston. This year he was on the team kind of by default, just based on how his contract was set up. But I think they like the stuff that they've seen from James Houston in the past. It's all about just doing it again, man. I know what he did in 2022 was so great, but we just need to see him at least get close to that. He doesn't have to get 8 sacks in 9 games again, but if you can contribute during the season, maybe 4 to 5 sacks, I think that's a very successful season for James Houston, but a big prove-it year in terms of his Lions future going forward.
Yeah, see, I'm going to go a different direction, you guys. And while not a 5, I'm going to give him a 3. I think he's a practice squad player, and I almost put him on the fringe. He hasn't done enough to earn it, and I'm trying to think like Dan Campbell. There have been other guys who have stepped up a little more. Mitchell Agude, Isaac Ukwu. I like James Houston. I want him to make the team. I want him to be that Corvette after Marcus Davenport, but I haven't seen it. I think he's at risk here. Any last comments on that? Otherwise, I'm going to throw an offensive play.
I cannot wait to hear your opinion on a certain other player. Okay. I cannot wait. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Another guy on the list?
Yes.
Okay.
But go ahead.
A wide receiver, Donovan Peoples-Jones, 1 through 5.
5. Gone. 5.
Yeah. I got to agree, 5.
And here's the thing. And I want to get this out of the way because I mentioned this on BDE yesterday. He's played a lot of his reps with Nate Sudfeld as his quarterback. It's not like he has the best situation around him, but I just don't see somebody who could separate. I see somebody who came to the Detroit Lions as such a talented player, somebody who's more talented than even a Josh Reynolds, and did absolutely nothing. I don't think that he's the type of receiver that meshes the best with Jared Goff and a Ben Johnson, because he can't separate like, say, a Isaiah Williams can. I don't think the Lions, the more that I look at it, the more that I've watched this preseason, I don't necessarily know that the Lions definitely need that big body receiver. You'd like to have one. You'd like it if Donovan Peoples-Jones played up to his potential, but I just think somebody like Isaiah Williams is a better fit for this offense, and Donovan Peoples-Jones, I'm starting to believe, based on what I saw last year and what I've seen from preseason and the lack of excitement about him in a training camp, that maybe Donovan Peoples-Jones is just not a Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes grit kind of guy. Maybe he's just resting on his laurels, because in some ways he's already had a successful NFL career, but I don't think that he has that hunger and drive, because if he did, there is no excuse for him not being the wide receiver 3 on this team, and he just has not seized it, so he is gone.
There you go. And it's a perfect transition, because I was going to say, what do you want out of your big body receiver? Go and get it.
Yes.
And I just don't see that in his spirit at all. This was set up for him. They paved the way. They even brought him in early. They put him on the roster. He got the reps last year in NFL games. We all had hopes for him. We said, you know what? Maybe he can go into this offseason, put the work in, get the chemistry, and go out there and at least give us what we need out of the big body receiver. And he just hasn't had that spirit out in the field, and he hasn't had that as it relates to apparently his work ethic. You know, I don't want to question it. I want to believe that he's working extremely hard. But it's just been, and as we've talked about this through our preseason, disappointing to see kind of where this wide receiver 3, 4, 5, and hey, you know what? What a time to talk about the Detroit Lions. We're complaining about those wide receivers.
Yeah, he is a grinder and he is a hard worker, but we aren't seeing the results. We aren't seeing it show up on the field, regardless of who's throwing him. So I'm with you. I give him a 5. I had so much high hopes for him, but he's one of those guys you put him on the skewer, you put the kebab on the grill because he's cooked. He's cooked, unfortunately. JB, what would you give him a grade before we get to the next one?
Oh, it's a 5. He's gone. I'm sorry. I just have not seen enough production from this dude to actually need to have him on the team anymore. It's kind of looking like a bad trade from this past season, but hey, there was plenty of potential, but we're just not seeing it. So I'm sorry. You're gone.
Gone. All right, next player on defense. Draft pick. Not draft pick from last year, 2 years ago. Josh Paschal out of Kentucky. 1 through 5, a lock or a cut?
He's a 1. I would say that he's an absolute lock. And I get it. It was a little bit weird seeing him play that late in the preseason game, although he did make his imprint on the game. I just see somebody who has flashed at certain moments. I see somebody who is solid against the run. I see somebody who has the opportunity to play his first healthy season, and he just has that particular set of skills, being the fact that he's a smart player. He's never going to be a 10-sack guy, but he'll give you maybe 3 or 4 or 5. He can get pressure. He's good against the run. He can get TFLs. And on this defensive line, which is already going to be missing John Kaminsky, I think Josh Paschal. I think Josh Paschal, the type of season you can expect from him this year is the type of season we saw from John Kaminsky in 2022. Be about 3rd or 4th on this team in sacks, and just for the first time in his career, play a full season. So for those reasons, Josh Paschal is a 1. He is a lock.
You know what? Hey, I agree with a lot of that. The biggest concern is probably the injury, but when you got a player that can be as versatilely used as you laid out, I'm cool with it. Maybe, a lot.
KG, I have Josh Paschal at a 2. I say he's safe.
Yeah.
I believe he's going to make the 53-man. I still want to see more out of him, but I think they're giving him another season to prove it. What would you give him, 1 through 5, KG?
Me and you in the same boat. I give him a 2. I feel like that last preseason game really did show this coaching staff a lot. And this is a guy who is absolutely talented, but he's been plagued by injuries most of his career. And he's just struggled in pass rush. He's great in the run, like Sam said. He can play on the edge and in the middle, but he just hasn't been able to really show off his skill set. So you hope that this is the year to do it, especially if they're using, defensive end by committee on the other side of Hutch. So I'd give him a 2.
And that was the question I was going to ask, because for me, it just comes down to, can he be healthy? I believe getting the playing time, he'll get the rhythm, he'll get the comfortability, and some of the things he's shown that he'll do that. Is this like a do or like a all or bust year for you as it relates to Josh Paschal?
I would say so, because this is now year 3 of Josh Paschal, 2nd round pick. So they invested high capital into this guy, and they expected him to make an impact by now. I know the injury's kind of out of his control, but at the same time, we need a consistent pass rush next to Aiden Hutchinson, and if he doesn't prove it this year, I don't really see how they keep him going forward in the future.
Especially with the investment about to make in Hutch.
Yeah. All right, last player we'll get to after the break. We'll let you guys put your 1 through 5 in the chat during break, because I want to ask the crew about Mathieu Betts.
Ooh.
Mathieu Betts. I know you're waiting for an answer. I'm curious what you're waiting for, Flannel. We'll address it after the break.
Oh, I know what I'm waiting for. But first, you know what you guys should not wait for? Go get a membership at Planet Fitness. It's fitness that fits your budget. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the Black Card Spa, featuring hydro massage, massage chairs, and total body enhancement, and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
The Allied Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at alliedchallenge.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. A ton ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
For over 50 years, you expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive right down Woodward Avenue. You guys already know the legendary and the historic, all 4 pro sports teams right there. One of the most unique sports towns in all of America. So we got to get these teams winning. The one that is right now, the Detroit Lions, and they got expectations that are supposed to have us all out here on Woodward Avenue celebrating a Super Bowl. But it starts in the trenches. It starts for this team, the foundation of longevity as well with some of these young players, especially one that they took a flyer on that we're talking about right now, Mathieu Betts. I saw Mr. Matthew Broder over there. You put in the chat for the chat family to give their 1 through 5 if he's a lock or if he's a cut. Mathieu Betts. Look, this is a player that I've been very excited about, man. A lot of potential there. I'm really glad that Brad Holmes decided to kind of take a flyer on Mathieu Betts. And you see a little bit of the potential, but you've been saying it over and over and over and over again, brother, that you want to see a little bit more. I know he's one of those kind of just get after the quarterback guys, but when he's not putting that on tape in the preseason more, then it kind of makes it a little less luster on it than it once used to have. I'm thinking practice squad, even though I want to see him make the roster.
Yeah, I would put Mathieu Betts, and I think he's perfect for this role at a 3. As somebody who is on the practice squad, and you could potentially call him up to the main squad if there's any injuries. I mean, you're looking at, first off, the fact that I think James Houston and Josh Paschal will be on the roster. That's there's not a lot of spots open for a Mathieu Betts, especially when you consider you got to account for Broderick Martin, Levi O, Mekhi Wingo, of course Davenport and Hutch. I just think when it comes to Mathieu Betts, what he's put out on tape in preseason is one really explosive play and then a lot of below average play other than that, where he just doesn't look like necessarily to me an NFL athlete. He looks a little slow. He looks a little bit like he's overwhelmed with playing better competition, but it's something maybe he can hone on the practice squad going up against the Lions every single week in practice. And he's somebody that if you need him to play a role that you got from, I don't know, Bruce Irvin next year for a game or two, maybe he's ready for that. But I think he starts the season as a practice squad player, so I got him at 3.
Yeah, I think he's getting cut.
Whoa.
I think he's getting cut. I just think it's a little too late. He's 29 years old. I'd like him. I just think there's not enough room for him.
To keep it real.
Yeah, when we start talking about keeping guys like Sione Vaki, Isaiah Williams, like more, not gadget guys, but guys that can play multiple positions, you want them on the 53-man for their versatility. I just don't know if Mathieu Betts has it. We know he's not going to get much better. Like his technique might get a little better working with Terrell Williams, but again, he's almost 30. And like Flannel said, one really good play, especially in this Chiefs game, one really good sack. It was awesome. The other 29 snaps he was out there, just 50% of the game, he really wasn't doing anything. He had kind of slow feet. Like athletically, he's not going up, and I think that's where they see maybe we stick with a higher ceiling guy on the practice squad versus him. Maybe an Ukwu or an Agude or Houston if Agude makes it. That's where I'm at, a 5.
Ooh,
cut.
KG?
I'm right in the middle. I'm a 4. I think he does eventually make the practice squad. You are a little bit encouraged by some of the stuff you saw, but I just think the Lions want to work with this guy. I mean, if we go back and remember, he was literally maybe the first acquisition of the Lions this offseason, man, if going all the way back. I just think they want to work with this kid. They want to see more of what he has. And in case the injury bug catches a Marcus Davenport, a Josh Paschal, a James Houston, you do have that extra added firepower waiting on your practice squad. So I think they hold on to him, but definitely a 4. He's a fringe practice squad guy. If it comes down to it, he may or may not make the team.
Yeah. JB, what are you feeling, brother?
Oh, man. See, this is the hard part. Like, you don't want to see any of these guys go just because you got so used to them and, like, you see the potential that they could have. But honestly, it's probably a 3 or a 4. You want to see them on the practice squad because as KG said, I do think the Lions still want to work with them. They still have a little bit of faith in them. And that goes the same with James Houston as well, too. You don't want to see these guys go, but at the same time, you know the goal that's ahead of you. And you know the guys that you have in place can outwork these guys. But at the same time, you still want to see them just to have that depth on your team as well, too. So give me a 3 on Mathieu Betts and a 3 on Houston as well, too. So they're practice squad guys as of right now.
Do you know what I love about you in this segment, JB? You were talking about Mathieu Betts, like, oh, I hate to say that about him. But then when it came to Donovan Peoples-Jones, you were basically just like, get this. I remember all the time.
It's real.
Spartiness in it, didn't you?
It's real. I'm sorry, but
okay.
Donovan Peoples-Jones, you have not shown me anything. I'm sorry.
No, and I honestly, I don't blame you because I was in the exact same. I was in the exact same boat.
DEFCON 5. Man.
No, but I think
honestly, both of you guys shocked me. Or no, he didn't shock me, and you did.
No, but yeah, Mathieu Betts. At best, he's going to be a practice squad player. But I wouldn't be shocked at all if Broder's scenario plays out.
Real quick, what's interesting about those two? Well, like why I wanted to include Houston and Betts on here. They're two guys that Dan Campbell has admitted in the last 2 weeks, like, hey, we're gonna stop working them at the same linebacker spot and just have them both focus on rushing the quarterback, which I like. I like it for both of them, but that does tell you at the same time, man, they're not doing what at least the initial plan was for them, being a more versatile defensive player. So kind of reading between the lines, I think they're both. I did give 5 for Betts and. Would I do a 4 for James Houston or a 3? They're both on the front. Like, this third preseason game is important for these two guys.
Based on what we know, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, they do prefer the versatile players, both on offense and defense. And so with that caveat thrown in there, I do understand your positioning of both James Houston and Mathieu Betts being guys that could potentially miss out. I do think from a depth standpoint, like you were saying, KG, if there's an injury or something, I do believe it's good to at least have a James Houston around, a guy who understands the system just a little bit. But largely, these problems that we're discussing right now, they're really a testament to what Brad Holmes has done overall. This is a squad that a few years ago, there's no question, some of these players have to make the roster. And just that quickly, this roster is so talented, so versatile, and they're deep in all the right places. And I'm not saying pause because it's so good. This is Brad Holmes, bro.
You should probably pause.
You should probably pause. My bald brother.
Hey, if this was 2020, we might be looking at Mathieu Betts. Please lead this team in sacks. But so that's,
for real. No, that's real.
So that is a testament to Brad Holmes and everything. And just one more quick thing on James Houston.
Yeah.
I think the reason what we've seen out of the preseason is the reason why some people still have some doubts in him, because I think it's almost established now from what we've seen, from what we've heard out of Dan Campbell, that James Houston has one skill and one skill only. It is a damn important skill, but if he is not getting pressure on the quarterback, he's useless. With all due respect. And again, that is a very, very, very important skill that I would love for him to utilize on this team. But can he play the run? No. Could he play any other position besides just like, you see that man over there? Get him. No, he cannot. Hopefully he makes this team, though, and gets some sacks and pressures.
Man. And that's the thing. It's like we went from like, yo, the potential of James Houston just like a few years ago to now just being like, you know what? Brad Holmes has really upgraded this team.
Yeah.
I love it. Absolutely love it. But we got more Detroit Lions talk on the way, and this one is more centered around the NFC North.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for this one as well. I saw the rankings. I'm excited about the discussion and the conversation. I'm hoping the booth is ready as well. And chat family, stay engaged as you guys always are. Thank you for waking up with us every day. Wake up Woodward, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. through 10 a.m. You guys are hitting that like button, not just for us, but all of Woodward Sports Network. After our show, it is Big D Energy, 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty, alongside the golden voice that is Neil Rule. After that, you got Armani Edwards with Maz, 2 to 4. Maz away, Braylon Edwards, and Ryan Armani, Fox 2 Ryan Armani. Then end the day with the Woodward heavyweights from 5 to 7. The big fellas spill more racks and speak easy. And their elite booth. Nick Koloff and Chris Platty and their entire Woodward heavyweights gang to bring you the biggest interviews, breakdowns, and laughs. But thank you guys for making Woodward Sports your #1 digital sports outlet.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new card crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
Hey, KDK Law, a place that you don't want to need, but if you do need it, it is good to have, most certainly. You got Kevin and Catherine. They've been there for however many years, like 7 years, just absolutely doing their work and dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. With 10-plus years of experience and 24/7 availability, scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
KDK Law got your back, and you already know Woodward Sports and Waco. Woodward got your back. Chat family, I'm hoping you guys have our back. Go ahead and smash that like button. You know what? Goodness gracious.
No, we can't even.
I gotta give you a day.
Can't even do it, man.
I can't even, but going ahead anyway and satisfy that like button for us. We will make it sultry again for you guys very, very soon. But you know what? Shout out to Eduardo O'Neill. He says Lions #1, and who cares? And that's very, very appropriate. Shout out to the homie Ed O'Neill, one of the regulars in the chat. And I see a lot of you guys in there, man. But we're talking about the NFC North. Explain yourself. This is about ranking the NFC North position groups. And we're going to go offense and defense today.
Offense,
we're
just
talking
offense.
Offense just today. QB, running back, pass catchers, as wide receivers plus tight ends, and the offensive line. We got Matthew Broder and we got Flannel Sam's list. You guys agreed on some, and we also got to break down a little bit of what you guys disagreed on.
Absolutely. We got the, I think we can start with the quarterback. And actually, I do think there's one disagreement when it comes to the quarterback. Jared Goff 1, Jordan Love 2. I think that is, that's a pretty obvious.
I think we have a graphic to put up, JB, if you could.
Yep, I got it. So
Okay,
I
cool.
had to split it up a little bit just so everyone can see it a little bit more. But
Dope. There we go.
Okay,
Gotcha.
so there's one difference though, because I think 1 and 2 are pretty obvious. I've got the Bears at 3. You've got the Vikings at 3, Broder. How about you explain yourself?
Yeah,
on this
so
one?
I was thinking, and I couldn't remember seeing Caleb Williams throw a pass in the NFL yet. And I was really digging through the NFL history books, and I just haven't seen it yet. So I was curious, like, how do you put him over a quarterback who has completed a pass in the NFL? Had a couple good games even. So that's why I have the Bears at 4. He could easily be much higher on the list if he turns into what many projected Caleb Williams to be. I just have a problem giving rookies. I can't put him ahead of
It's a philosophy.
a breathing body, a starting quarterback in the NFL.
So you're buying the Justin Jefferson hype on Darnold?
What do you mean?
Oh, he was out there absolutely Krispy Kreme glazing them.
Got you. Yeah, no, I don't mind Sam Darnold. I don't think he's anything special, but I think he's a competent quarterback who I thought Vikings fans should want him to start the first half of the season before J.J. McCarthy is ready. If J.J. was a starter, I'd have the Bears third, Caleb Williams over J.J. McCarthy.
And you know what? I don't hate your argument at all because it makes sense. My thing is more that I'm one of the bigger Caleb Williams believers in this building. I think that he has a chance to have one of the best rookie seasons ever considering what's around him. And Sam Darnold, I actually, too, agree that he's going to be fine this year for the Vikings, but he's somebody who, as a top 10 pick, has been a disappointment in his career. So for that reason, I got Caleb Williams over or the Bears over the Vikings because I believe more in Caleb Williams than Sam Darnold this year.
Yeah, I agree with Flannel's list. Broder, I do understand your reasoning as far as quarterbacks go, but I just think Caleb Williams' potential is, more than Sam Darnold's ability. So I will go with Flannel's list on this one. I think he won.
Great. And Ryan Leaf was supposed to be better than Drew Brees.
That's fine.
Yeah, that is fair.
Yeah.
Broder, how dare you, man?
I'm the minority. Pardon?
Broder, how dare you, man? How you just sit here and just disgrace Caleb Williams like that? Didn't you see all the passes he was throwing when you were asleep at night? He was throwing several passes. It was over here, it was over there, over that way. Like, come on.
Y'all keep joking, man.
I'm sorry, I missed him. The fingernail polish was throwing me off.
I know.
Y'all better be paying attention. I'll just say that.
You did put the caveat in there that, you know what, this is about today. You do believe that as the season progresses, he has an opportunity to rise up this list as well.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%.
Definitely. And you know what? With these running backs, I love the way this list looks. Lions on the top, Packers on the bottom.
Yeah.
Let's rock.
And I think those are, again, to at least me and Broder are pretty obvious, but we're not as high on Josh Jacobs as some. I think when you're that late in your career and you have a season in which you're basically getting the crap kicked out of you, that bodes tough for you moving forward. He could have a bounce back with the Packers. I'm not holding my breath. Our big difference, though, is we've got the Bears and the Vikings flip-flopped. Broder, why do you have the Vikings over the Bears?
Yeah, this was tough because to me, it was depth versus top-end talent. I really like Aaron Jones. Like, I think there's an argument to be made that he's the best running back in the NFC North. I have him second to Jahmyr Gibbs. But with that, and with Ty Chandler, who's all right, I have them second. I just really like Aaron Jones on the Vikings. We were talking before the show. If I were Jordan Love, I would have signed early, taken a few less dollars, and found a way to keep Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs together. But no, for this Vikings team, I just prefer Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler to a threesome of 2/3s, DeAndre Swift, Roschon Johnson, and Khalil Herbert, who I like all three of them. I mean, we know here in Detroit what DeAndre Swift is, but I happen to like all three of those guys, but they're all number 2s or number 3s. Aaron Jones is the number 1 running back.
See, I think DeAndre Swift is a number 1 running back, and he proved it last year. Because we can talk about how often he got injured on the Lions. He had a healthy season with the Eagles, and he did show out. I know he slowed down towards the end of the year, but he did have 1,000 yards, which is all you could really expect from him, also playing behind a really good offensive line. But to me, the Bears, I think Khalil Herbert is better than a lot of you guys think. He has a career yards per carry of 4.9. His issue has been injuries. I even last year advocated that he was going to have a better season for the Bears than David Montgomery was going to have for the Lions. That did not age very well, and I'm glad that it didn't. But I'm a Khalil Herbert believer. I think DeAndre Swift can have a good year, and I think Roschon Johnson as your 3 is just stupid. I think he could even be a number 2 somewhere. And as far as the Vikings go, I love Aaron Jones. I think he's, on a per-game basis, he's been one of the best backs in the league for 5 years or so. But behind him, Ty Chandler's okay, and they don't really have a whole lot else. I think Aaron Jones is going to be the bell cow, and I don't know if his body can hold up.
And you've been consistent on the DeAndre Swift support as well, going back to when the Lions traded him, made the switch at running back, brought in David Montgomery as well. You stated, even though you were optimistic about what the Detroit Lions running backs would be, you did state that DeAndre Swift, you felt like, still had it.
I mean, There's a lot of Lions fans who act like this guy is just crap, and I think that's a little crazy. But
No,
that's just me.
he's not. But I would say Broder nailed this list, man.
Okay.
I mean, when Aaron Jones is healthy, he's the best running back in the NFC North. I have no problem admitting that. The Bears, they do have a very injury-prone backfield. Now, DeAndre Swift, he did do it good last year, but Philly has a great offensive line, or at least had a great offensive line when he was behind there, and we just need to see it again from DeAndre Swift, man. But I think Broder nailed it here, and then, of course, Josh Jacobs. I like Josh Jacobs a lot, but in terms of NFC North running backs and running games, he doesn't measure up.
Ask Flannel about A.J. Dillon.
Hey.
Oh,
What
yeah.
about A.J. Dillon?
Yeah, don't nobody care about AJ Dillon.
No, for real. A.J. Dillon is the softest man with big quads I've ever seen. They're just quads for show. He
Quads
blows.
for show.
He's done. He looked pretty nice as a change of pace back his first couple of years, but he is cooked like when I cook steak on the pan. So,
we got to get you on
done.
Barking, man. Quads
Dunzo.
for show. He blows. Hey, we got to get Flannel Sam
He's
on there.
terrible. He's awful.
Hey, you know what? This is my question when we're talking about the running backs, because obviously nobody disagrees that the Lions have the best running back duo. One of the best in all of the NFL, let alone the NFC
The best.
North. The best. I
Yes.
like how you said
Yes,
that.
the
Say said
best.
it with his chest, man. That's Flannel Sam
Yep.
over there. But is there any threat to the Lions at all?
In the NFC North?
At running backs?
Yeah.
I mean,
or is this a
if
lock
you-
for them just to
if
run
you-
away?
If you get a
Pun
full
intended.
season, and this is a huge if out of Khalil Herbert and DeAndre Swift, combined with the element that even Caleb Williams adds on the ground, I think they could be a scary running team. But that is a huge if.
Look at Justice.
He said if.
I said if.
Right.
If. DeAndre Swift played every game this year, guys.
It's not that outrageous,
He
man.
played every game this year. You guys have your Lions glasses
been
on
consistent.
and
That's why I
act like
wanted to call
DeAndre
that out.
Swift plays like 6 games a year. He played every game last year and had 1,000 yards, whether you like it or not. Am I happier with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs? You bet your ass I am. But you can't act like you can't not give DeAndre Swift credit for last year. You can't act like it never happened. That's all I'm saying.
That's why I had to
but
call it out.
Lions reign supreme. Yes, they do.
You called your shot with Swift.
How high? So, David Montgomery.
Yep.
To me, there's a case to be made that you could consider him the number 2 running back in the NFC North.
Thank you.
Is he top 4?
Yes, he's top 4.
So would he be over all of the Bears running backs, or is Josh Jacobs out of the top 4? Yeah, I'm just talking. I'm not trying to take a shot at your list. I'm trying to figure this out because I don't know. I think David Montgomery is still underrated.
Getting slept on, man.
He is. He is.
I've been saying that all.
There's a case.
What is he, 27?
Pardon?
How old is he, 27?
27 or 28.
Around
and
that.
still rumbling, bumbling, and tumbling.
People act like he a 32-year-old back.
I have
Right.
Gibbs, Montgomery, and Aaron Jones, and Josh Jacobs. All I would have him number 3. There, I just figured that out in front of you all. David
you know
Montgomery
what?
number 3.
Sometimes I just feel like we don't know how to act because David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, they are elite backs. We already know, and like you said, they are the best. They are the best as a combo, as a duo.
All right,
They're
yeah.
the best duo in all of the NFL. Let me make sure I put that
Yeah.
caveat there. Jahmyr Gibbs has an opportunity to really climb the charts here, man, this year. But the ceiling for them to get there, man. I believe that Jahmyr Gibbs is gonna definitely take that next step. I don't see really any of these other running back rooms being able to threaten them. Like I like what DeAndre Swift brings to the table, but when you talk about the combination of this offensive line, when you talk about what Jared Goff is bringing, when you talk about all the different intangibles that a defense has to think about when you're talking about a well-oiled machine, a well-oiled Ben Johnson machine, that's why I believe that as long as this nucleus, this combination stays together, I don't think that there's any running back combo that can touch them. And it's the reason why I'm very bullish on a Jahmyr Gibbs, especially being that kind of weapon role, more so than just a ball carrier.
Yeah, and there's no question that it's the best running back duo in the NFC North, and I think we all think that NFL, or at least it has a very good argument for the NFL, and I think we're all in agreement that Jahmyr Gibbs is the best running back in the NFC North. With David Montgomery, I think if he gets slept on a little bit, I think it's more because his ceiling isn't as high as Josh Jacobs. It's not as high as Aaron Jones. Hell, I don't even think it's necessarily as high as DeAndre Swift. However, behind this offensive line, David Montgomery, he doesn't mess around. He just runs forward and gets his 4 or 5 yards on damn near every play. And he broke a couple, including a 75-yarder. So I think David Montgomery playing on this offensive line is a match made in heaven. He doesn't dance. He's not shifty. Behind Penny Sewell, behind Frank Ragnow, I'm going to get my yards.
I like that. I'm going to get my yards. And that's what it ultimately excites me about the Lions offense and these running backs. Yep. But we got the pass catchers up next. Should we?
Yep.
Yeah. Let's pay some bills. We're going to get to the pass catchers. Hey, brother. Hey, definitely ask the people what their thoughts are on these pass catchers lists since they can already see it. If they can get their rankings in there as well. Where we got to go here?
Lady James.
Yeah, there we go. Let me tell you about something awesome. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That is Lady Jane's Haircut Trimming. All you got to do is stop in, sit back and relax and let one of Lady Jane's talented hairstylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. It's Lady Jane's and it's wicked awesome.
Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions that are specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring, so you can call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you as long as needed because it is technology that is backed by people. Your safety and security, it deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. All you got to do, call this number right here, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, that number, and I'm looking at you, brother, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Hey, FAB. Hey, see, these are the treats that you guys miss out on when we're not in studio, but we're back in studio, and it's a Tuesday, so I can do things like shout out to WUW Sports' MVP in the titty booth. That is JB Smooth.
Press.
What's going on? And you already heard KG in the South booth. Detroit's #1 draft pick. I like the shirt too.
Hey, thank you, man. Shout out to Devin the dog for hooking us up with the fresh merch.
Devin. Hey, and Matthew Broder, our credentialed Tigers, our Lions reporter and writer. Got Flannel Sam up here, the vet of the entire network. Man, I've seen this guy prepared, hosting, and crushing for a very, very long time. And we've seen not just you, but Long Drink, Flannel, and a whole lot of other energies, man.
I mean, I'm a very complicated individual. I will just say that. But speaking of complicated, Matthew Broder's pass catcher list. It's going to need some splaining. So I want to get your thoughts, JB, whenever you got a second, as to why you ranked the Vikings where you did, which last in the NFC North. There we go. Last in the NFC North amongst pass catchers, and where as I am the complete opposite and have them first.
Yeah, so they have the number one wide receiver in the division, and that I think we all agree on that. Justin Jefferson, he's special. To me, and so to me, Jordan Addison, he's questionable with an ankle injury. He might miss a few weeks. TJ Hawkinson, he's likely out until November. After those three, there is a significant drop-off. Jalen Naylor is their number 3. Like, if anything happens to Justin Jefferson, they are complete toast. It's probably the worst wide receiver, worst pass-catching room in the league. So that's how I'm looking at this with the uncertainty of Jordan Addison, both due to his ankle injury and likely, possibly missing some time due to his DUI arrest. I'm like, yeah, Justin Jefferson is fantastic, but they don't have anybody else. And now Sam Darnold, he's not a superstar quarterback who can turn Jalen Naylor into a super stud. That's why I have him at number 4. If all 3 are healthy and like to start the season, I knew they were all going to be there. They're number 1.
And you know
they're number 1.
And the Keys to Wisdom says this as well as a caveat: pass catchers, they have a QB component to it. Darnold drags them way down. How much does quarterbacks play into your list?
See, my thing though is these wide receivers put up numbers with Nick Mullins. I have no doubt that Sam Darnold will at least be able to spread the ball around to where all the receivers are happy, at least at some point when they're all back. I mean, is it going to translate to wins? Who knows? But I'm not worried about receivers not putting up numbers.
Bro, man, the chat family coaxed the Nick Mullins reference out of you.
Yeah. Shout out your 4 interceptions against the Lions. But let's.
How off am I? Whether it's explaining with why you have them first or not. Like, am I crazy? Or I mean, they're number 1 if Jordan Addison is healthy and playing and Hawkinson is healthy and playing.
And this is where I think we just maybe have a difference of what we thought about this list. If the question is going into week 1, I wouldn't necessarily even hate this because there might be no Jordan Addison. There's definitely going to be no TJ Hawkinson. What I've read is that he's probably going to be between week 3 and 7, which would lead you into about November. I think at some point they'll both be back. And when it starts with Justin Jefferson, I think sometimes we even sell him short. Me watching Justin Jefferson at the beginning of his career is probably what people a generation above me thought when they were first watching Randy Moss at the beginning of his. I'm not saying Justin Jefferson is Randy Moss, but he's closer than he is to being a normal great receiver. Justin Jefferson is absolutely special, the no doubt best receiver in the league. And the thing that I think people forget about TJ Hawkinson, and I get it, health, I understand the whole he's going to be there for probably 12 games max, maybe on the low end 9. If he didn't get hurt last year, and this is where a lot of people are going to get upset, he may take Sam Laporta's second-team All-Pro spot.
Yeah.
That man was about to get 1,100, maybe 1,200 yards last year, especially given that if he had that, plus a whole season of Kirk Cousins and the Vikings were better, he might have been first-team All-Pro, given the fact that George Kittle didn't really put up monster numbers. He's one of the best tight ends in the league. And Jordan Addison, you could argue after Puka Nacua is the best second-year receiver going in. So they're all going to be there at some point. I think they're all going to play more than half the season, and that's the way that I'm looking at it.
Fair. And T.J. Hawkinson, to me, a healthy Hawk, is what puts them over the top into that number 1 spot over the Bears, who I have at number 1 now. And you have Bears at number 2, right?
I do. I have Bears at number 2, and you have them at 1. So, and you said if the Vikings were fully healthy that you would have them at 1. And I think with the Bears, you've got DJ Moore, probably the 3rd best receiver in the NFC North. You've got Keenan Allen. You've got Cole Kmet, who is a damn good tight end, maybe a top 10 tight end in the NFL. And Rome Odunze, if I'm following Broder's rules, I can't include him, but I think he's one of the more promising rookies in the NFL. He was a top 10 pick. So the Bears, they've got themselves a potentially really good wide receiver room and one of the best wide receiver duos in the NFL, quite frankly.
Yeah, and that's why I have them at number 1. They have 2 number 1 wide receivers. They're not Amon-Ra St. Brown or Justin Jefferson, but they're both number 1s, and then a really high upside number 3.
Yes.
Rome Odunze, the potential there. I have him at number 3. Some people say he's got the potential of a number 1. I just think he could be really good.
Sure.
And then Cole Kmet's great. Before we talk Lions and Packers and where we have them ordered, what do you guys think, Kool-Aid, JB, KG, of how it's looking so far, the Bears and the Vikings?
I did want to ask a question about the Lions pass catchers and the path to them being able to move up this list, either one of you all's list. Does it rest solely on what Jameson Williams does this year? Q Ball in the chat says, I say Lions are number one because they're the only proven room. And when I look at the Lions, they're very, very top heavy. And if Jameson Williams pans out, I do believe that he gives them an opportunity alongside the rest of this offense, man, to definitely move forward.
The only proven. Oh my goodness! Hey guys, we can
don't do it. Don't do it, Sam. Don't do it to him.
No, we can love the Lions all we want, and we all do, and we think that they're going to win this division and probably represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, or at least that's what we all hope for, and I think we all believe that there's a very good chance of that. However, you can't say that the Lions have the only proven. Justin Jefferson's not proven. DJ Moore's not proven. Keenan Allen's not proven. What the F are we talking about?
That's why I brought it up just for perspective, but that's why I asked the question. How do they reach the perspective that Q-Ball actually has? How do they get to a number one?
JMO, and then more JMO.
Yeah.
If he turns into, if he even has the season that I project for him to have, they're going to skyrocket up this list because you already have an all-pro receiver and an all-pro tight end. It's just, if JMO can finally give you the production that we all hope for, that's the entire key to this.
Yeah. To me, I have him at number 2 over the Packers at number 3 and the Vikings at number 4. They have a bona fide number 1 wide receiver, arguably top 7, top 5 wide receiver in the league. They have the number 1 tight end in the NFC North and a tight end who I would pick over all 6 of the Packers' number 2s, 2, 3 wide receiver tight ends. And then JMO, still unproven to me, but I think he has potential to be the number 1 weapon. Not a number 1, but like a number 1 weapon in the league. And people are sleeping on Khalif Raymond. Like he might not have the stats on a year-to-year basis, like solid. He is proven, and he's proven the ability to separate. He's proven the ability to be reliable. He is a number 3. He's not a number 2 or number 1, but I like him as that number 4 option. So I have St. Brown and Laporta. I would pick them both over every single Packer. And JMO, I would pick over, 4 of the 6 Packers pass catchers. That's why I have them at number 2.
Well, and I know this doesn't sound significant, but I think it is. When we're talking about Khalif Raymond, he's probably the number 1 depth piece receiver out of anybody in this division.
Great point.
What is that? And obviously, when it comes to Khalif Raymond, you can debate whether or not Dontavian Wicks for the Packers is a depth piece or not. I'd obviously have Dontavian Wicks over Khalif Raymond, but as far as the lower guys, when you go through all of the top ones of the team, the next one after all of the top ones would be Khalif Raymond. Like Khalif Raymond over Jalen Naylor easily. Not even a competition, just for an example.
Especially when you're considering the chemistry that he has with Jared Goff already, the comfortability that he has in this Ben Johnson offense already. That's one that I know we've all been sleeping on. We say it on the show multiple times. Hey, you know what? I think we're sleeping on Khalif Raymond. And you know why? Because I think we believe he's as sure as Jared Goff knows he's going to be sure. He's somebody that I don't worry about Khalif Raymond. It's just, is he going to be healthy? Cool. Then I know that Khalif Raymond's going to go out there and do what he's supposed to do. And sometimes I get it with JMO. In the year that we're hoping he has, I believe that we look past somebody as sure and steady as a Khalif Raymond.
That's why it's nice to have him in the room. He's been as consistent as it can possibly be over the last 3 seasons, at least in the role that he's asked to play. He's going to give you about 500 yards, and he's going to make a couple of really big plays a season where you're like, damn, Khalif Raymond did that. Damn, Khalif Raymond had that big punt return against the Jets. Damn, Khalif Raymond had that 37-yard touchdown on a flea flicker against Seattle. Damn, Khalif Raymond had that catch from Tom Kennedy. Like, those are the things that you get from Khalif Raymond every single year.
Like those first downs, man. I'm just like, Raymond got that. Okay,
Amon Raymond. I like that. Last one, we're not going to spend any time on it, but Flynn and I had the same offensive line ranking.
Yep.
Lions number 1, Vikings number 2, Bears number 3, and Packers number 4. Any just comments on why you had the Packers at 4 or the Vikings at 2?
Well, because with the Packers, with the Vikings, I'll just say because Brian O'Neill and Christian Darrisaw are one of the best tackle duos in the NFL. That's why. And that's a big help when you're trying to build an offensive line. That's about as important as it gets. And when it comes to the Packers at 4, it's just they're relying on a rookie, Jordan Morgan, who even if you end up being good, you're going to have some warts as a rookie. Even Penny Sewell did. And Jordan Morgan, I wouldn't be surprised if he has a rookie season similar to what someone like Darnell Wright had for the Bears last year, and he struggled a lot. And with the Packers, Josh Myers, their center, he stinks. He's awful. He shouldn't be starting on any NFL team.
Tell it like it is, Flannel.
And one of the reasons that I have the Bears over the Packers when it comes to the offensive line, I think Tevin Jenkins, their guard, is better than Elton Jenkins, the Packers guard, at least at this stage in their careers. And I like what the Bears are building in terms of tackles. I think Darnell Wright's going to have a damn good year, and I think Braxton Jones is pretty solid as well. But they obviously don't hold a candle to the Lions' offensive line, which is the best in the NFL.
just plain, just flat out. And
yes.
My question to you all is this. You guys both have the Packers last in offensive line.
Yeah.
You guys both had the Packers last in the running backs as well. Jordan Love is getting all of this love, for lack of a better word. How does this affect him this season? Because that's huge.
Yeah, I don't think Josh Jacobs is as good as Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones, as we've said many times, was a big part of their offense and made things easier on Jordan Love down the stretch. So that could be a concern. I think the Packers' offensive line, although I have it last in the NFC North, has some nice pieces. Like I think Zach Tom is pretty good, and Elton Jenkins is still solid. And I also have them last in pass catchers. And it's funny because it looks like a lot of Packers at the bottom.
Right.
However, pass catchers in the NFC North, that is just a position in which every single team is good. And the Packers, it wouldn't shock me if one of them really emerges as a wide receiver one. It wouldn't shock me if it's Christian Watson. It wouldn't shock me if it's Jaden Reed. I still think the Packers are a good team. It's just that one of their weaknesses is I don't really see a unit really on either side of the ball in which they're dominant.
Yeah. For me, the question you asked, it's part of the story or part of the reason why people should be thinking about Jordan Love as a possible MVP candidate. Like, I think about the Packers as the clear number 2 in this division, and as I'm going through these exercises, I'm like, man, their units aren't near the top of the NFC North except for Jordan Love. So if he continues like he played the second half of last season, we know how talented he is. If he keeps that up with the units that we think are near the bottom of the NFC North,
to be special.
The story behind that all is why he'll find himself in the MVP race if they finish second, if they make the playoffs. It's why I thought Jared Goff may get some votes last year. It's the story behind it all, elevating a team that doesn't have those expectations yet, getting them to the number 1 seed in the NFC. It will take things like that for Jordan Love to get in the MVP conversation, but he's one of those guys, all the talent, the flair, all of it. He could work his way into that because of this.
Oh,
Sure.
It's nice to be in this NFC North at this moment. This is nice because you're right. This is going to be a big year for Jordan Love. He's going to prove that he is that guy, or the Lions are going to break him this year.
Yeah.
That's what I honestly believe, because you got to think, this guy is set up for success, in my opinion. I get the rankings with his offensive line and his running backs, but the style of play that he is, the way that he can kind of spread the ball around, as well as those running backs in the pass catching game as well, and his accuracy, even under pressure. Jordan Love gives the Packers an opportunity on offense every single time. But I just believe that the Detroit Lions take these things personally. Like, you had Dan Campbell calling players in and saying, hey, who was here from the previous years? You remember all this stuff? This is no longer who we are anymore. You know what I mean? And using that as fuel to the fire. And I do believe that a lot of this stuff is going to be something that he can use to definitely motivate and continue to push his team forward.
Yeah.
I do. I think you attack and you absolutely try to discombobulate a Jordan Love if you're this Dan Campbell defense.
Hey, if you want a chip on your shoulder and you're the Lions, just think of what the Packers did at Ford Field on Thanksgiving last year.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, and that's really what
Still got a
catapulted the
sick taste in
Packers'
my mouth.
season to them being a playoff team, and for Jordan Love being having a superstar second half of the season. And wouldn't it be nice to if Aiden Hutchinson puts Jordan Love on his ass a couple of times? Wouldn't that be nice?
That
We
would be
all
nice.
love it. And hey, You know how I said that the Packers center Josh Myers blows? DJ Reader, Ali McNeil, bull rush that man back into the quarterback.
Facts. Ed O'Neill, $4.99 super check. If you look at Love's worst games last year, they struggled to protect him. New York Giants, San Francisco, Tampa Bay, the first Lions game, and Pittsburgh. Also, Dante151, $4.99. Big Ten news for everyone who is keeping an eye on new teams. Miller Moss named USC's QB1 to replace Caleb Williams ahead of season opener versus LSU. Shout out to you both for the super chats.
That's not big news. We all knew it was going to happen. But thank you, Dante151. Thank you.
You know what? I want to know what the chat is feeling as well on Jordan Love, because there's so much talk about him. I want to know. We all know that he's a good quarterback, but do you believe he is overrated? Jordan Love. I'm seeing some people in the chat who do believe that Jordan Love is overrated. But before we get into this next segment, let me tell you about Swiss Insurance. Now, more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance to make sure your current carrier is not slipping in any extra fees.
Take that.
Or raising your deductibles. All you got to do, call Mark at Swiss Insurance. That number is 313-530-1698, or visit them online, SwissINS.com, and let them know that Woodward Sports sent you.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Merch. Look, do yourself a favor. Head over to woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab. We are dropping new designs every single week for you, but I got to tell you about the ones we got up here on screen. Finally, Kool-Aid has got rid of that Detroit signed shirt.
Yes.
And he's finally got the hashtag Boo Them Kids shirt that is out right now that you should be wearing when it comes to Sunday Night Football when we take on the Rams. We also got the Stoke Not Scared, and you can't forget about those Woodward Tigers as well, too. Hey, could be a wild card spot that I'm just saying. But do yourself a favor, head over to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab, dropping new designs every single week, and you know you got to get swagged out.
Boo the children now.
Justin's running around here somewhere. I don't know.
Like,
boo!
I was hoping that like some aspect of you, like the people would be able to see you, man. This guy just like straight up ran behind here and everything. Hey, it's Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for choosing to check in with the crew and kick off your day with us. Hit that like button, man. Let's zoom on through that like goal today. It's been a lot of good Lions talk. And we got to talk a little bit about these Detroit Tigers. Why? Because they just won't die. They won't let the wheels pop off. And this is the thing, man. They've been a roller coaster all season. All season, Matthew Broder. And now they find themselves 3 games under 500. The crazy thing, they've leapfrogged a couple teams, and they find themselves, though, still losing ground in the wild card race. It is a crazy phenomenon.
Because I just look and the Royals are on like a 5-game winning streak. It's like Jesus effing Christ. But
of course, man.
But I think we're all on the train that the wild card isn't going to happen.
No.
Even if they have just I gave the example of 30-9. I think there's 37 games left. If they go 27-10, they're still probably going to finish finish short of making a wild card spot. But what we could see the rest of this season, and I want to get your opinion on this, Matthew Broder, if the Detroit Tigers play well, given all that's happened this season, given the injuries, the fact that they sold guys like Mark Canha, Carson Kelly, Jack Flaherty at the deadline, Andrew Chafin, if they finish this season with, say, 84, 85 wins, it will mean that a lot of the members of this core had themselves a season. And we're seeing it this season out of guys like Riley Green's an all-star. Kerry Carpenter's an over 900 OPS guy. Tarek Skubal's going to win the freaking Cy Young. A healthy Reese Olson was one of the best number 2 pitchers in the MLB. Colt Keith, I would say, is having a top 3 to 5 AL Rookie of the Year season. It would just... The core is starting to materialize, and a lot of them are playing pretty damn well.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, this is the time to me where they start to define the core a little bit clearer. There's only so much you can evaluate in 6 weeks, but at the same time, this is 6 weeks of MLB evaluation of guys like Torkelson coming back up, of Trey Sweeney, of Jace Young. I do think Jace Young's in the core. We'll get to that in a second, but this is your time to really see, wait, how close are we? I think they know. I think what they have in Max Clark and McGonigal and Bryce Rayner, the young guys, Liranzo.
Yeah.
But it's of these El Avila drafted guys, where there is a lot of talent, guys that Avila drafted, how many of them are going to be here for the long term? Is it going to be Torkelson? Is it going to be Justin Henry Malloy, which isn't an El Avila guy, that's a Scott Harris guy, but those types of players. This is what we're looking for over the next 6 weeks. And although I say, because you have Tarek Skubal on your roster for next year, you better go spend this offseason. Does this young group, these guys defining the core, if they play well over the next 6 weeks, are they putting that much more pressure on the Tigers ownership group to like really spend? Not like 75% go for it, but like 100% go for it next year.
Bro, the fans are ready. The players, they won't die. The young players are stepping up and they're proving, hey, they might be ready for this thing. And Tim Pennell in the chat, he wants to know, when will we get to see a Max Clark? And with what some of these young players are doing, I wonder, like you talk about all of the different pressures that can be applied and some of the pressures that are off, like the players and AJ Hinch, bravo to those guys. But to ownership, and if they give Harris this opportunity to spin, they absolutely have to get something done right now to make sure this foundation that you can see, it's no longer a situation where we're waiting and we're assessing. The foundation is there. You have to do right by these people. Like, bro, as the Pistons dude here, don't do this to the Tigers, bro. Like, please don't. Cade, Ivy, Duran, Asar, Sasser, Stu, Killian, Sadiq, like all these guys, bringing Wiseman in, so many young players, and you refuse to properly augment them to the point that we're wondering, do our stars want to leave? Like, I don't want to see that with this Tigers team. Go out there and make sure that we got a sure foundation to the point that, we got Max Clark down the road. Like, think about that.
Yeah, Tim Pennell, 2026. Opening day 2026. I hope he's on that big league roster. Flynn, I talked about the pressure it puts on the ownership group. Well, if they play well, there will be more pressure. Does actually these kids playing well, does that mean they need to go out and get less quantity of players? Like maybe one or two players, a major league bats, a bullpen arm. Maybe you just need less, but you go and get more talent versus needing like so many things.
Well, that's the great thing about it all. As I said before, if the Tigers can finish this season over 500, it'll mean that there's a lot of core members who are doing work. It might mean that Parker Meadows continues to stay hot. Hell, it might even mean that Spencer Torkelson finishes the season strong. And yeah, that does create a little bit of a conundrum of what type of spending do you want to see? Because you can pretty much go at this any way you want if you're Chris Ilitch. You could go after a big wig like a Juan Soto, which I would probably give a limb for. I don't think that's going to happen. No. You could go after a Teoscar Hernandez. You could go after an Alex Bregman. You have to go after a Pete Alonso. I think what might even be the most substantive is if you try and get Corbin Burns and pair him with a Tarek Skubal. But there's many ways in which you can do this. If you think that your core is set, if you think that a lineup with guys like Carpenter, Riley Green, Torque, Young, Keith, Dingler, among others, is I'm probably missing a couple, but it is solid. You got a pitching staff of Skubal, Mize, Olsen, Montero, Job, a bullpen of Foley, Holton, Vest. I mean, you might not have to go after a whole lot. You can take this in different ways. There's lower end free agents or middle free agents. Like if you want to go get a Willie Adames, if you're not feeling good about Trey Sweeney's future, which is possible. If you want to go get a Christian Walker, if you're not feeling really good about Spencer Torkelson, if you want to go get like an Anthony Santander, if you want to get a bullpen piece like AJ Minter or Carlos Estevez or Jeff Hoffman, or if you want to get a starter who's a bit depreciated right now like Walker Buehler. It's all possible. However, one caveat that I will add to all of this is that if the Tigers finish this season with a winning record, next season is playoffs or bust, even if you don't want to spend, because you know me. You know that I've got some nice money ball options available too if you're feeling good about your core. You know who I want to bring home most. Jesse Winker. Go get Jesse Winker for the love of God, and in spring training, teach that man how to play first base if need be. If you get Jesse Winker on this team to augment to the core, I would feel pretty damn good. The man has a 369 career on base percentage, 369, career OPS of 808, and this season he's putting up numbers which are pretty much comparable to his career averages, although his OPS is a little bit down. Honestly, depending on how you feel about Dylan Dingler or Jake Rogers, I would be all for getting Carson Kelly back.
Yeah.
I would. If you want to go after a guy like Austin Slater, these are all really, really cheap guys. A lifetime 344 on base percentage, 753 OPS. If you want to work some Chris Fetter magic and go after like a Mike Clevenger, who is depreciated right now, his Spotrac, I would say average value or estimated value is $1.3 million. He's got a neck injury right now, but if he comes back and Chris Fetter can work his magic, the point is that you can approach free agency any way you want. There's no excuse to not augmenting this team properly. If
spending or not.
If I were Scott Harris, let's just say their free agency is Jesse Winker, Carson Kelly, and then you buy a bullpen arm like Carlos Estevez or AJ Minter. I think this is a playoff team.
Yeah,
I really do.
Old Jarhead, I see in the chat, he says a 500 baseball team is still bad.
Yeah, but this team, talent-wise, experience-wise, shouldn't be a 500 baseball team. They're worse than that. We have 3 bullpen games for every 5 games played. Like, that's just the reality of it is, which makes it all that more exciting that the young kids are playing well. We get to have some excitement around a season that is lost. We're looking at a bright future. We really are. And I like that you brought up Clevenger, just the concept of bringing in another pitcher like they have with Lorenzen and Flaherty in the last 2 years. Because Scott Harris has said this is their plan all along. They needed Lorenzen and they needed Flaherty to prove their pitching system, to prove what they believe they can do for an entire pitching staff, for veteran pitchers coming off injury, looking for a home. Their goal is, and it's hopefully next trade deadline, definitely in the next 2, is to get those guys and keep them at the deadline. Not bring them in and tell them, hey, we're going to fix you up and we're going to ship you out at the deadline. And that's a mutual understanding between Flaherty and Lorenzen. The future is actually keeping them and maybe even extending them. So I hope that happens next year. I hope they're at that point where they're chasing a playoff berth. We're talking about a wild card race right now instead of the next question, who is the core?
Well, and what I love, too, is throughout the rest of the season, no matter what happens, you're going to get a lot more clarity. I think one of the ones that's most likely to flame out, in my personal opinion, is Spencer Torkelson. However, I gave you some options. Christian Walker's available. Jesse Winker is somebody who, like the Oakland A's did with Scott Hatteberg, teach that man how to play first because he's not a good defensive outfielder, or put him at DH. That's what we're going to see. And I really hope that this doesn't happen, but if Parker Meadows all of a sudden goes back to not being able to hit, maybe he's not a core guy. Maybe they go after an outfielder. Maybe they go after a shortstop like a Willie Adames, which I think is probably more likely than not. Trey Sweeney's another one who I would probably pick on my most likely to not pan out list.
Yeah.
You've got options. You have to treat this free agency, I think, as filling needs, because on the baseball diamond, I think it's more obvious to see needs than on in other sports even.
Just the Canna Urshela signings, like on steroids. Like, turn it up. I love those types of players. They were underwhelming. Like they didn't perform to the level we thought, which was probably going to be a mid-level player anyway. We need a little bit younger and a little bit stronger, but I love Canna.
Well, and here's the thing about Jesse Winker. Jesse Winker is Mark Canna on steroids, literally. He's got more power. He's a better on-base guy. And you know what else Jesse Winker is going to be? Cheaper. His estimated average value is $2.4 million for a .369 on base percentage guy. He is my Moneyball dream. He is the man that I have erotic dreams about as far as his value to a baseball team. Not about Jesse Winker, the player, but about what he can bring to a team if you want a Moneyball out of this. And that's the example. But to do a quick pivot, that's not easy to do. One thing, though, that Scott Harris has shown that he's willing to do is buy pitchers. I didn't even give you these options. Luis Severino is available. Trevor Williams is available. Getting Jack Flaherty back is available. And even somebody like Mark Canna, I know that it was a trade. I think something that I haven't done a good enough job at sort of really hammering home to the audience is that as much as you want to call him a Moneyball type player, Mark Canna wasn't even that cheap.
Right.
He really wasn't. He was an over $10 million a year guy. So I don't even know if Scott Harris really is chained to this Moneyball idea as much as we think that he is.
KG.
Yes, sir.
Is Spencer Torkelson, is he a part of your core, your Tigers core moving forward? This has got to be one of the most polarizing players to decide. Or can you not even make that decision until the 6 weeks is over?
I think after the 6 weeks, you will have a better idea. But as of right now, to me, no. And like I said, it's not just from a mental standpoint. It's more from a mechanical standpoint as well. I don't know if he can recover and be the guy that we want him to be as Tiger fans. You know, this was a 1-1 guy, college-ready bat. He broke all kinds of Barry Bonds records while in college. He wasn't supposed to have the type of issues that he's having with the team right now. So it's just hard to say, man. And then when you add the fact that he's not that great defensively at first base of all infield positions, I think you got to look elsewhere. I do. It's been 3 years. I think this project is done at this point.
Flannel. Justin Henry Malloy just got sent down to AAA to make room for Riley Green. He'll be back on September 1st. Is he a part of your core? Do you know that yet?
No, you don't. Unfortunately, he's not hitting well enough. He's getting on base at a pretty high level, but not to the level that I thought that he would be at. And he's one of those, and I hate to say it, what we've seen out of him, which to me is a little bit troubling, is when he's not hitting home runs, he's not really done much of anything, especially considering that the only place you can really put him and feel comfortable at is a DH. I think here's a scenario I could see.
Yes.
If you're, let's just say, which we all hope happens, that Spencer Torkelson shows enough that he is the opening day first baseman next year. And then your outfielder, you've got Green, you've got Meadows, and you've got Carpenter. Justin Henry Malloy starts the season in the minors, and Jesse Winker is your opening day DH.
Love that.
I could see that happening. But you could also see a scenario where Justin Henry Malloy, there's a need for him. However, maybe the Tigers decide that Justin Henry Malloy needs to start next year in Toledo, and it makes them want to spend even more. Get somebody who can be a reliable DH, like, I always say it, Jesse Winker. You see how every scenario comes back to Jesse Winker?
Yep.
Scott Harris, come on.
First Tommy Pham, now Jesse Winker.
Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
Is Wenzel Perez a part of your core? Do you know that? Yeah, he's a little banged up right now, but is he part of your core moving forward?
Good question.
You know what? I love the potential. I liked what I've seen. It seems like today's show has a theme, though, of injury. But, yeah, I think you got to see a little bit more with Perez. But I like him, man. I like him.
Dude, I saw too much bad down the stretch, and I pounded the table for that man. But for people calling him Wenzel Badu or Akil Perez, what you saw the last couple weeks of the season gives me a little cause for pause, especially when we're talking about this core in which there's a lot of other guys, including at his position in Parker Meadows, who I think we're more excited about.
When you say core, do you mean like you're just done seeing them, or is there more opportunity to see with Wenzel Perez?
I think Wenzel Perez is a utility player moving forward, and that's okay, by the way. That's
like he
okay.
becomes a Vierling type of McKinstry, and I would rather have Wenzel Perez in a McKinstry role.
Yep.
Than McKinstry.
Yes.
Than
Yeah,
McKinstry.
yeah, yeah.
JB, Casey Mize or Reese Olson? I'll give you two. I have one last one for Flannel after, but JB, Casey Mize or Reese Olson? A former #1 pick and a project.
Casey Mize and Reese. We can't keep them both, can we?
You can. I give you both because I didn't know which one you might.
Yeah.
They both have their own stories.
Yeah, they both have their own stories. I'm kind of leaning towards Case Olsen. Don't murder me for this one as well too, but I do like them both. But I'm kind of leaning towards Case Olsen just because as the whole
Case Olsen.
I like them both too.
We're combining a Reese Olsen. My apologies.
Yeah. Like Case Olsen.
We're combining names today, but as the whole room has said before, it's all about potential. You see that potential, and hopefully, it can skyrocket this Tigers team a little bit further.
Potentials and injuries.
It's potentials and injuries. That should be the title of the name show. Potentials and injuries, pretty much. So
It's been the Tigers for years now.
Very last one. We're right up here against the break. Flannel, is Tyler Holton a part of your core?
Yes.
Is he the best reliever in baseball right now?
No. But well, the way that he's been playing lately,
good.
yes.
Yeah,
he has played like the best reliever in baseball over his last 20-plus appearances, but I can't say he's the best reliever in baseball. Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
He's certainly the one to me that looks like a dominant reliever for many years to come to piggyback off of what he did last year and to what he's been doing this season after a little bit of a slow start. Tyler Holton is the guy in the bullpen that I have the most confidence in will just get outs and shut the door. I wonder if moving forward, Tyler Holton is the closer. That would be an interesting thing to see. But, yeah, Tyler Holton is a part of the core. You need a strong bullpen piece as a part of your core.
I agree. He should be a closer. I'm done with Foley at this point. I just don't know if Foley can get it back.
It's an adventure with him.
I think they need a close. I like Tyler Holton and Foley as your 7 and 8 guys. I know we have no roles really defined in this current bullpen. I like them as your 7 and 8 type guys. They need a swing and miss arm. That's a free agent acquisition I want. A ninth inning back end of the bullpen swing and miss reliever. In fact, they need 2, but go get 1.
Yes. And do you know who I really want in this core moving forward? That Case Olsen character. That's actually a cooler. You know what's funny? That's a cooler name than Casey Mize or Reese Olson on its own. Case Olsen.
Factual.
If that guy is out there somewhere, you're going to be a major leaguer someday, son.
Hey, he's no Dick Campbell. I'm just saying that. He's no Dick Campbell.
Who is Dick Campbell?
Dick Campbell.
You don't know Dick Campbell?
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Dick Campbell.
Get to talk about my guy Jesse Winker even more. Scott Harris, welcome to the show. Welcome to Wake Up Woodward. Put me in the front office. I will guide you towards the Winker.
Whoa. You got to pause before you say that. Pause. Come on now.
Oh, my
I'm good on that.
369 career on base percentage, man.
I'm not being led.
As a $2.4 million player.
I'm not being led to anybody's Winker.
Yeah, nobody's Winker.
Less than $1 million more than.
You know what? My question, I guess, to kind of put a bow on this thing, just really quickly, have a lot of your major questions, at least with the Detroit Tigers this year, have been answered?
No.
No, not that there's not work to be done, but have they been answered in terms of players that you got your answers on, prospects,
some of them,
starters for next year?
See, here's my problem, and this is where I have to be fair and honest. I'm the biggest Riley Green fan probably in the building. He got hurt again. Hopefully he ends the season playing 135-plus games, but he got hurt again. Kerry Carpenter got hurt again. Reese Olson got hurt. Tarek Skubal is the one who you're just like, you know what, we projected him to be a Cy Young winner, and damn it, he's probably going to do it. But there's still questions. But go finish this season with an over 500 record, and in the case of Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter, finish the season healthy, and that will help alleviate some for sure, no doubt.
Oh my gosh, you got the chat going crazy.
You do have the chat
going crazy right now.
Ask me about my Winker.
Oh my God.
Man,
Winker has taken over the chat. Hey,
I want him probably more than I want Pete Alonso, honestly, as crazy as that sounds.
Who do you love more, Jesse Winker or Aiden Hutchinson?
Hutch. Hated Hutchinson.
Or Dick Campbell.
Jesse Winker.
Oh,
if he likes Winker, he likes Dick. So,
hey, JB is absolutely losing. JB, tell me what we got, bro.
We got to go to Mark White.
Do it.
Mark White. Okay, dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 to visit them at markwhitesales.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is taking over Michigan, known for their quality hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tender sandwiches and New York-style pizza. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit, doubling the number of restaurants this year. Soroki's just had their grand opening in Madison Heights. Be sure to stop in and try at a mega station near you or go to Sorokis.com. And hey, get your Sorokis and sign your kids up for a football league. Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan 3C Sports League offers youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Equipment, meals, and transportation included, all for a chance to play for a championship at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports.
Yo, welcome back. What up, though, people? I was about to say, chat family is on one. We've already zoomed past that like goal. Let's get as far as we can. Hit that like button if you haven't. Y'all are crazy. Freddie Felt. Winkermania is running wild, brother.
That doesn't work for me, brother.
LFG Sam with the Winker pull. The Shaquille Oatmeal. Hawk 2 on that Winker. And you know what? Randall Small super chat. I'll have you read it.
Oh, what do we? Oh boy, what do we got? What do we got here? Where is that? Oh, no Winker. Guide me to VJJ. Well, well, VJJ. It's VGJ, but hey, give me Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Are you kidding me?
You went there. I love that.
Yes. Where was he going?
He was going with a female body part.
Yeah. I know that. But
Randall thought he was cooking, man.
I would prefer. I would prefer the Blue JJ Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
No, I prefer the other way.
Hey, the way that Vladdy has been hitting lately, I might prefer Vladimir Guerrero Jr., honestly, not even going to lie. On the Tigers.
Empty checkbook, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Juan Soto, come on home.
Oh, my God.
A billion. A billion. All it would take is a billy.
Dude, I would get season tickets.
I would immediately. Think of how much money they would make from that.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my
Slap a $350 million extension on Scooble.
World Series favorites. Instantly.
You buying premium seats? If they do that, you gonna be in the premium seating area?
No, no, that's a little bit too steep for my checkbook. But you know, it is what it is.
Oh my gosh! You know what? Let's cook up JB Smooth.
All right, let's cook up. Unfortunately, I don't have my intro, so it's okay. I'll just add another video to what we got going on here. But you guys,
if you smell what
I know, right? If you smell what I'm cooking right
Jay
now,
Trending.
Bizzle. Smell what I'm cooking right now. You guys, I have stumbled upon gold. You guys know how difficult it is to make a football team, a college football team at that. I have stumbled upon the entrance exam for the University of Florida. So I want you guys to let me know how many of these questions you guys get right.
Oh boy.
All right, let's rock.
Okay, word search. Can you guys find?
I see cat in there.
See, look, that's one for one.
All right.
Which one is bigger? I don't know, the watermelon or the
Was this Urban Myers? Like Urban Meyer, Florida?
Probably.
I'm just gonna go duck. Don't know what that is.
Well, what animal is that? I don't know. How do you finish this maze?
Straight through.
Connect the dots.
That's easy. Damn, it's easy to get into Florida, man.
Yeah, how many did you guys get right? Because
Can the whole WUW Crew go there?
Let's go Gators, man.
Let's rock.
I think the whole WUW Crew can go to Florida right now. What do you guys think?
Hey, man, if I had the talent of Aaron Hernandez, I would have made Florida too.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, we just be glad they didn't have a hangman on there.
You would have killer hands, you know?
Yeah, right, killer hands.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
That is the team that God blessed, okay? You are not going to speak about Tim Tebow's former team.
That was a team that Lloyd Carr went out on a high note on.
Yeah.
That's
that
what
was
I remember.
the propaganda on that Florida Netflix video. Oh my goodness.
They all hate it too. All the Florida players, like, it didn't show anything of what it was really like.
Yep. Yeah. No, they really didn't. They really did not. And hey, I think we all can make it to Florida, but that's just my opinion. But for this next one, bro, I think you need to go to the hospital.
I'm not sure if I need to go to the hospital or what, because I'm thinking I'm drinking my great Gatorade. Yeah, I might need to go to the hospital. I think I'm drinking great Gatorade.
Good.
I took a big old gulp in this shit, cuz. I took a big old gulp. And I ain't paying attention because I'm like, it's dark in here.
Oh, not the Fabuloso. Not the Fabuloso.
Who set him up?
Willy Wonka.
That's horrible.
Who set him up like that? They're like, you know what? He had the purple Gatorade.
Yeah.
You cannot put the purple Gatorade right next to the Fabuloso. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you just
that's
can't
crazy.
do that.
He was stuttering and shit. He might need to go to the hospital. Yeah, I think my man ingested some Fabuloso. Hey, and that Fabuloso strong as hell. You ever put that shit on your floors, man? That shit is strong. You don't want to be drinking that.
What is it?
Word.
Is it soap?
Yeah, it's a cleaning product.
Okay, yeah.
Of course, Broder don't know what Fabuloso is. Of course he
You get it from the Dollar Tree.
You get it from the Dollar Tree. You get to Dollar Tree.
You get it from the Dollar Tree. We keep it.
So he's like the hood Grandpa Joe. Like, you know, they blow the bubbles.
It's the hood pine saw, okay?
Mike G's like, what the hell is that? Yes, Mike G. They kind of
Oh, yeah, Mike G, another one. It makes sense.
If there's WPS,
That's my guy, though.
There's BPS.
Yeah. This is definitely BPS. Hey, Awesome and Fabuloso, the two greatest cleaners to ever exist on the planet, bro.
I forgot
They don't know about
Awesome.
Awesome, though. They don't know about Awesome.
Brother and Flannel are just sitting there like, what?
Right.
I probably need some. I mean, honestly, cleaning products get a little steep sometimes.
I completely forgot about Awesome as well.
Y'all, Awesome is an all-time great. Every black kid had Awesome in his house coming up.
I completely forgot about Awesome, but Broder, I need your help on this one. It's another grade. You got to grade this first opening pitch for me, okay?
Oh boy.
Mr. Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, I saw this.
What the?
He was just trying to be different.
I hate it. This is the worst one of all time.
He's
He's
just
trying to be cool.
I said, brother, take it away, bro.
It is an honor to throw first pitch. Just throw the freaking ball. Come on. Machine Gun.
It's on par for MGK. He's just being MGK. So,
like, cool, dude.
Every human being who's ever thrown a first pitch ever tries to throw it to the catcher. You know, we're just losing our traditions. I can't stand it, man. Can't stand it.
He's different for sure.
He made Hawk Tua's first pitch look good.
Yeah. Made 50 cents look good.
I was
That's
wondering
stupid.
what
Eminem is way better of a rapper than him, clearly. See, I'm hip. I'm hip.
That's not even. Well, I mean, that's that. That's
Oh,
obvious.
I love it. And Stick, man. Stick is in the building. I was wondering what he was up to. Ooh, it just takes your breath away.
The stick is up to something back here.
It
If you
takes
can
your
see
breath
this,
away.
we got
What
our
up,
pull-up
Wake Up
banner. We got our pop-up banner back there.
Yeah.
Hey.
What do you think?
Oh, that is beautiful. Goodness.
You do it on my head.
Yo, I love it.
Oh, stick is
Make
making his
room.
way.
Make room.
Make room. Make room.
Make room. New merch.
That is so
New merchandise
dope.
coming.
Look at that.
Everybody gets a banner.
Hey.
Every day, 8 to 10.
That's so
Live.
dope.
That's weekdays.
Well,
Man, it's a testament to our chat family, man. Thank you guys.
no, can we explain the story, though, about how awkward it was that all the other 3 shows' banners showed up, but yours didn't show up at the same time? And I was just like, hey, guys, everything's fine. Here's the banner. Your banner's here. It was ordered. I don't know why yours showed up last.
Hey, no, look, man. We
Just
got
a big heat
Spicy
treatment.
Broder, too, man.
We got the coolest one though.
I love
Like
it.
that's dope.
I love it. That is awesome.
That is
man.
cool as hell.
That is awesome. That is
Stick.
awesome.
Well done.
Goodness
Well, guys in the back, Ryan and Noah. Always Ryan.
Shout out to Ryan and Noah, man.
Goats.
Always got us looking great.
There you go.
Goodness.
Nice.
Shout out.
Can I take that home?
Yeah, I want to.
No, you can't take it home.
It's like the Stanley Cup. Like, do we all get an opportunity to be able to take it somewhere? I'll be out like family time at the zoo. I'll have it popped up.
Family time.
I'll say what up to Chase, Emily.
Just carrying it around everywhere you go.
Mike G want to go to the club with it, so I'm just saying, it might help him pick up some ladies, man. You never know.
Long drink energy flannel with this thing popped up behind him at the club would be epic.
Oh,
I gotta
yes.
see that.
Hey,
Oh goodness,
be a good conversation starter.
that's dope.
Although old Flannel Sam doesn't hit the club anymore because I am a married man.
He's married.
Yes.
Confirmed. I seen her. She's real.
Yeah.
Ask me about my winker.
Oh my god.
Let's go, JB.
That was a
She's a real person, guys.
She's a real person, everybody. We have all met her. Let's just relax.
Confirmed.
Finally, I will end it with this. Hey, you know what? It's always safety first, everybody.
Okay.
Did he put it back in his mouth?
What?
He put the mouthpiece back in his mouth.
I mean, that's respectful if you gonna beat his ass. I mean, that's at least you being respectful about
bro.
And then he started pounding on his
Yeah,
mouth.
that's
This
crazy.
is so big bro,
That's
little bro
crazy.
energy right
Bro,
here.
you got to pause when you say that.
But he just accepted him putting it back in his mouth. I was
That's
like, bro,
crazy.
just let me put my own
Pause.
mouthpiece back in my own
Right.
mouth, though.
I wouldn't know whether to be offended or like
he didn't
thank
say
the guy.
pause.
Like,
He the one that just let him. He's just like, okay, here, I'll just open my mouth and take it.
I mean,
Pause.
it's better to take those punches with your mouthpiece in.
But
'cause,
let me put my own mouthpiece in my mouth.
my man got
Like, you put your
grounded
dirty
and
fingers
pounded,
on my
man.
mouthpiece and then you shoved it in my mouth. That is disrespectful.
The ground and pound, man.
I don't know
Sheesh.
what's worse, actually, because it's
Sheesh,
just like,
man.
dang, man. Like, I could have lost some teeth, too.
And then just like, all right, here's your mouth guard. Now you're
Bam,
down.
ground and pound. Damn, man.
All right, but that's it for what's trending. You
Somebody
guys.
help my man's, man. Somebody get him out the ring, man.
Oh, my
Somebody
God.
throw in the towel for my man. It's over with, bro.
If you're the ref and you see somebody put somebody's mouthpiece in their mouth, you gotta call the fight, bro.
That's
It's over.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's done.
That's
right.
true.
Man,
That's
can he
true.
put his own mouthpiece in?
Oh my word. Oh my God.
Some wild times, man.
Oh man. You know what? We got our mailbag segment on the way, so definitely get those mailbag questions in, and we'll answer a few of them. Give a little bit of overtime today. But attention, sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Bake the Energy and every Thursday during Armani and Edwards with Mass. We offer you top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How? Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at RandyWiseChevy.com.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
How would you like to play with a legend like Darren McCarty, Kirk Gibson, Braylon Edwards, or Megatron Calvin Johnson? It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Register today and you can play like a VIP. All you got to do, go to WoodwardSports.com or scan the code on the screen. When it comes to your next car or truck, make the wise decision, the Randy Wise Automotive. And we are back. It is Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. We had everybody in the building today. The energy was electric. Chat family was definitely on one. Continue, man. If you haven't got an opportunity, smash that like button. If you can share it, post the stream. It definitely helps us out a lot. Thank you guys for being here. It's now time for our mailbag segment presented by Feldman.
Yes. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Hey, and you know what? I got this earlier, Dante151, $9.99 super chat. He says, I find it funny how people were excited for Mark Cannon and Gio Urshela, but now Cannon was traded and Urshela is in talks with the Braves after being released by the Tigers. What a weird season.
He signed with the Braves.
Yeah, like...
Can I take this one? Because I'm a Braves fan, actually, so I actually know exactly what's going on with them. It's Austin Riley got hurt. They need a supplemental bat to play third base. Austin Riley will be out for 6 to 8 weeks. So they're just filling in some holes, and that just shows, though, that there is value to have Gio Urshela on this roster. And I was just talking to Broder about it during the break. It would have helped to mentor Jace Jung on how to play little third base.
I mean, and here's the reality. You can be I was excited about Mark Canna. I think that he actually had himself a pretty good season or however portion of the season in Detroit. But when you're an expiring contract, when you're on a team that's not going to make the playoffs, it's better to get something for him. Yep. And that's it's the cycle of 1-year contracts on losing teams. That's all this is, both with him and Urshela. Although Urshela was a little bit different because it was a release and then a signing. Looking back, I kind of wish they would have traded Gio Urshela, but that's neither here nor there.
They probably tried, just the market probably wasn't there for him. So.
Yeah, probably like a bag of peanuts, honestly.
Mailbag, Greg B29. He said, who do you think should be the Lions' punt and kickoff returner?
Good question.
You know what?
I saw them try. Didn't they try Isaiah Williams?
Yeah. I would say punt, Isaiah Williams, kickoff, Sione Vaki.
I like that.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, it gives them both opportunities. It keeps them both fresh.
Yep.
And you want these guys to be versatile. We keep talking about that. Seems to be the identity of the type of players Brad and Dan want on the squad. And Isaiah Williams, Vaki, if they can play a little bit in their respective roles, running back, pass catching, as well as on special teams, I like that.
The only thing I worry about with Isaiah Williams at punt return is does he have that breakaway speed where he's like gone once he's like, you know, got past the level. But as far as shiftiness goes, I think Isaiah Williams is the perfect guy to get you like a nice 15 to 20 yard punt return.
Yeah, I would like to see Vaki, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's just keep Khalif back there.
That's fine by me.
What's wrong with that?
That's fine.
Dude, is it important though? We talk about J-Mo keeping him healthy. Is it important with the questions that people do have about the back end of our wide receivers to keep Khalif more healthy?
I mean, it's fair. But like you have Isaiah Williams. You know, you have other options there. I think it'd be okay to let him do it. You've let him do it in the past.
Yeah, and I got a question as well, the tight end room. It's a lot of tight ends. Some of them are pressing. Obviously, we know we're going into the season with a couple of them. How do you see this tight end room shaking out for the Detroit Lions?
Sam Laporta, Brock Wright. If they want to carry another one, Shane Zylstra.
Mitchell.
James Mitchell is out.
Kennedy.
Ooh.
Well, Kennedy's a wide receiver.
Yeah.
So.
Sam hating on Tom
But
Kennedy.
no. James Mitchell.
Stop hating on Tom
James
Kennedy.
Mitchell and Tom Kennedy can kindly, you know, have a couple powwows on the practice field. That's what they can do.
KG, talk to me, man, about these tight ends and talk to me about Kennedy.
Yeah, I agree with Sam. I think James Mitchell might be the odd man out here. I mean, they've just tried with this guy. It doesn't seem like he's made any significant progress. Of course, Brock Wright is safe. I think Shane Zylstra is a better pass catching option than James Mitchell. So I would say James Mitchell is the odd man out.
Yeah, and Tom Kennedy, man. Wide receiver extreme.
0 catches, 0 yards.
Keep TK85 on the team.
Wait. Do we need a Tom Kennedy watch as well, too?
We do, absolutely.
We might need one.
Well, what's your stat line for
make the day one roster?
What's the stat line for Tom Kennedy? 0 catches, 0 yards.
I'm going to have a word with Neil Rule about this.
So if he gets one catch and 1 yard.
Remember last year, I know he had some injuries and all that, but I won that bet. Remember that. I know you guys don't like to count my wins, but Tom Kennedy did butt kiss, 0.0. I'm more athletic looking than Tom Kennedy, and I'm not more athletic looking than anybody. He's a bum.
KG in the South booth.
Stop hating that man.
He's a bum.
All right, look, John Henry. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Compose. All right. John Henry. He said, real quick question. Is batting average up or down since the pitch clock across the league? Tigers don't have one hitter over 300.
Well, I'm not too worried about that because if you've looked at the NL, is it the AL or the NL? One of those. No, it would be the NL. They don't have really a whole lot of people over 300 at all. I just realized AL's got Bobby Witt and Aaron Judge. But if you look at the National League batting averages, I think the leader is it Marcell Ozuna?
Yes.
I'm looking it up right now. And
it is Marcell Ozuna.
And his batting average is what, like 302 or something like that?
309.
309, okay. No, it's just, yeah. It's just something across Major League Baseball. Only 9 players in all of MLB have it.
Batting average is a dead stat.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Ed O'Neill. I like this one. Feldman. I don't think I like this one. But we'll see. Feldman Melback. He said, I've seen a lot of places having us either sweeping Green Bay and losing to San Francisco or splitting with Green Bay and beating San Francisco. As of right now, you can only have one. Which one would you choose? In my world, just win all the games. But and obviously, we have to talk about it.
Go ahead, Justin.
In my world, beat them in the playoffs. I could give a shit about the rest of the regular season. Like, it doesn't matter to me. As long as we're in the playoffs and we're looking good going into the playoffs, I really don't care how the season ends up. I know we're going to be there. I just care about beating them in the playoffs.
Well, which is why I'd say sweeping the Packers, because that just leaves them, to me, if you sweep the Packers, they're no threat to you in the NFC North. Yeah. And the reality is that, yeah, you want to get some get back on the 49ers, but it's a regular season road game. Those are really, really tough. Yeah. Hopefully, you just get another shot at them in the playoffs, or maybe you don't. Maybe you lose them in the regular season and still win the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate goal.
I disagree. I take option 2 because you get a dub over both teams. You play Green Bay twice. I would much rather have at least one victory against them and right your wrongs in San Francisco. I know it's the regular season, but for them to go back to that field where it ended so badly last year and go get that dub, that would go a long way in terms of their confidence going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I actually like that point of view because with the Packers, the perspective is that you're supposed to beat them, but with the 49ers, you haven't quite gotten to the top of the mountain yet.
But if the Packers are the juggernaut that everybody keep claiming they are, then they are going to be a tough out going forward. So I would take a split.
But that's why I know with the question here is choose one. It's a good question.
Yeah.
It's a good topic to talk about. But sometimes I'm wondering how much of a juggernaut are the Lions going to prove to be this year? Are they a team that's going to go out there and do the unthinkable, sweep the Packers and beat Green Bay and prove to be as formidable as they're stating? I do believe when you're talking Super Bowl contender, not that you have to be perfect, but you go out there and you prove to be something against these teams in these matchups too.
Yeah. If they sweep the Packers and beat the
that'd be nuts.
But that's not
leading into the playoffs.
We got to start looking outside the NFC North now. The Lions are a NFC powerhouse at this point. They are literally a
Say
top.
that one more time,
they are
an
NFC powerhouse. A top 3 team in the NFC. So we got to start looking at the upper NFC teams as well, not just the NFC North.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe our chat family agrees because I see the chat poll here has ended. 44% said Jordan Love is overrated.
Really close.
42% says he's just okay. Only 12% says that he's underrated.
So what does just okay mean? That he's that he's rated right, or that he's just average?
That's what I was confused about.
Yeah. And I think with that one, it's how do you look at it? If you're if the premise is that he's the best quarterback in the NFC North or the NFC period, yes, he's overrated. But I think he's a really good quarterback who has a chance to be top 3 to 5 in the NFC this year. I think that's about where he should be.
Man. Anything else? Any last words? I think that's
Go Lions.
That's it. Right.
Go Lions.
Damn right.
You know what? That's a perfect last words. I love it. All right, let's get this chest pass going, and we're gonna break this thing down. Hey, got a little bit of overtime for the people today, and it was awesome. Thank you guys for kicking off today with Wake Up Woodward. And we had the entire WUW Crew with us here today, man. Shout out to Mathieu Betts, our credentialed Tigers and our Lions writer and reporter for the network. He had to skedaddle just at 10 o'clock. We gave you guys a little bit, about 9-10 minutes of overtime today. So shout out to brother. Love you, brother. Be safe and have a good day to you. Intern Chase had to leave a little bit early today as well. But that dude, Justin, what up, though, brother?
Hey, I'm doing good. Glad I got the last 10 minutes on the mic to come hang out with y'all. But it was a busy day over me at the other chair. Got a bunch of graphics posted and stuff, so living.
Nice.
Living. I love the shades, too, man. I love the energy.
Yeah, I had to channel my Hollywood today. I saw KG over there, and I was like, oh, let me toss on the shades.
I mean, you can try, but it's hard to reach this kind of, it's hard to reach this aura,
You know what? Let's talk about it, man. In the sound booth, Detroit's #1 draft pick. Let me back up.
Yeah, come on now. You know better. You know better.
Our elite, our wonderful, our great.
Keep going.
Our stupendous.
Yep.
Our talented.
All that.
Our just at the top of the mountain. Nobody's getting these guys. Are all grit. I'm talking about some dogs.
Yeah.
It is our elite booth. Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth. KG. Full-on Black Hollywood.
Yes, sir.
Mode.
Ain't no winkers around here. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord. But great show today, man. Love my team. Glad to be back with y'all, man. Let's have a good week, man. I feel it. It's football season,
Let's rock, man.
We back.
We back. Hey, shout out to WUW Sports' MVP in the Teddy booth on a Tuesday. I don't think y'all understand. This guy was working miracles today. Shout out to you, JB Smooth.
Man, I'm just doing my best out here. You guys are doing a hard job as it is, man. I'm just doing my best.
Everything crashed on you. You still,
everything crashed. We still survived in this whole thing right now. I need the rest of the chat family for the rest of the day, the rest of the shows. Hashtag ask me about my winker. Do it. Make it happen. Make it happen for Flannel.
Flannel Sam, man. I'm telling you, the gift that keeps on giving. Shout out to the vet of the network, Sam Reynolds. Flannel Sam, bro. What up, though?
I cannot stress this enough, Scott Harris. Bring Jesse Winker home. If there was a Hall of Fame for Moneyball players, Jesse Winker would be at the very top of it.
You heard it here first.
369 career on base percentage, and he'll cost you $2.4 million.
This
Bring
is
him
Flannel
home.
Sam's wink off.
Jesse Winker. Jesse Winker.
What are we doing?
That's fair. That's fair.
Yo, we needed the 4-shot for that.
What are we doing?
A lifetime OPS plus of 118, and his estimated value is $2.4 million. He cost the Nationals $2 million this year. Bring him home, Scott Harris. Bring him home.
Freaky ass brother.
Hey, it's your boy Brandon, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Chat family is crazy, man. We appreciate you guys. Hope you all have a good day, a blessed day. Thank you for choosing to kick off the morning with Wake Up Woodward. Stick around with Woodward Sports all day. Let's go.
Best network in the country.
That's right.